Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. And I am in Los Angeles, and I am in my son Jonathan and his new bride Mallory's apartment that they've been in for 3 weeks. So it's really a thrill to be here, to get to see them, and it's going to be weird. I'm going to stay here tonight. It's going to be weird staying in their place. It'll be the first time I've ever stayed in my child's place, even though he's a man-child now, almost 30. And so I am out here because I get to be on a TV show this weekend. There's a pilot being filmed for Brandon Beecham. Some of you may have heard me interview him, and I was on his show several weeks ago, and he asked me to be his guest. It's kind of like a late-night talk show, and they're doing a pilot, and then they're going to shop it to the networks and shop it to the streamers like Netflix and HBO and those guys. So great excuse for me to come out and see Jonathan and Mal, and should be really fun. So I'll have lots to report to you next week, and I'll probably post some pictures on social media, so stay tuned on that. But
everybody, I got to do a really fun thing this week, and I got to be on a show called Reiki Lifestyle with Colleen Benelli. And I wanted to introduce Colleen to all of you just so you could get to know a little bit about her work. And also I'm going to ask her to tell you where you can find more information about her. So Colleen, are you with us?
I'm here.
Hello, hello.
Hi. And it's good to be here with all of Julie's people. And we had just a great conversation today on my podcast, which is Reiki Lifestyle. You can find it on iTunes or Apple Podcast. And it was so much fun talking with you, Julie. First of all, just in how Reiki has been a part of your life, and also the different skill set that you have as a psychic and a medium, and how you developed your skills. And we only got to kind of touch the surface of all the things we could talk about. I think you and I could probably talk about things for hours, so we'll have to do another podcast. But it was really a lot of fun.
It was, absolutely. Please tell everybody what Reiki means to you. What do you think Reiki is? And do you have an explanation that people who maybe have never heard that word before would understand what that is?
Sure. There's a lot of definitions about Reiki, and all of them really are applicable. Sometimes it depends on who I'm speaking to. So when I'm working with Reiki, which Reiki is a life force energy, and its literal translation, it's a Japanese natural style of healing, and the literal translation of Reiki is spiritually guided life force energy. It's another style of energy medicine and healing and empowerment. We are all made of the same life force energy. We're here as a spirit in a physical body. And our life force can sometimes get depleted because of life experience. So Reiki can literally be an external source of energy. It can be defined in really any way that a person has a belief system around what life force energy is. In my particular perception of it, I like to think of Reiki energy as a divine source of energy. It's a spiritual source of energy for me. But it has no required belief system. So a person can work with Reiki from a completely different viewpoint, such as Reiki can be a biofield energy for them too. So it doesn't have a particular belief system. It's delivered through laying on of hands. So that sounds somewhat spiritual or somewhat religious. But when you look at the imagery of it, for instance, a person may possibly be lying on a massage table, and then the Reiki energy is delivered through a series of hand positions. What I like about Reiki, and Julie and I were talking so much about how what our training is observing how the energy itself is doing the healing work. So Reiki works on a physical level. I would have to say that the majority of my clients come in really to work with spiritual healing or spiritual trauma in their life that perhaps has translated into a physical injury. Sometimes Reiki is practiced simply as a stress reduction technique. Mm-hmm. To alleviate symptoms. So, for instance, when I'm in volunteering in the oncology clinics and giving Reiki to a person who's receiving chemotherapy as part of a cancer treatment, then I really just simply place hands on them or above them. You don't actually have to touch. You can deliver it by being above the body. And what I find in that experience for the client is that often they can be at a stress level from 1 to 10 at an 8 or higher, and they may be in a pain level from 1 to 10 at an 8 or higher, and within 20 minutes of receiving Reiki energy, their stress and their pain can drop to a 2 or below.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That happened to my mom, Colleen. I told you on your show when my mom had rotator cuff surgery and she had a nurse do Reiki healing, or hands-on healing is what a lot of people call the same, same thing basically. And her pain was dramatically reduced, and that really impressed her because she'd never heard of that before. And she really noticed a big difference.
I had the same thing with my mother-in-law when she had knee replacement surgery. The same thing is it really reduced her pain rapidly. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So Reiki can work everywhere from a physical pain reduction to promoting symptoms of well-being. So for instance, a person might even sleep better, which, mm-hmm. as we know, can really contribute to your well-being. Mm-hmm. All the way to, I really work with a lot of people that have experienced trauma in this life. I also, like you, work with past lives. Oftentimes, the Reiki energy will go to an ancestral healing that is necessary, or even a this lifetime trauma. So it really, and as we talked in the podcast about working with DNA, mm-hmm. What I like with Reiki is it's the same thing that you talk about, is that we are really simply facilitating. We are kind of the physical conduit of a non-physical energy that then does the healing work for us.
Exactly, exactly. Well, how can somebody find you if they want to learn more information about what you do? And you're in the Portland area, right?
Yep, so Portland, Oregon.
Anybody listening, Colleen's work is in person, whereas 99.99999% of mine is distance. But Colleen, if somebody wants to find you, especially if they're in the Portland area, how do they go about finding you?
Well, my website is reikilifestyle.com. And I teach all levels of Reiki. I'm an associate teacher for the Lightsong School of Shamanic Studies here in Portland, Oregon. I'm also a licensed teacher for the International Center for Reiki Training. And so you can also find me on that website, reiki.org. My sessions, actually, like yours, are actually mostly done over the phone. My clients are often just like yours, all over the world or all over the United States or Canada. My classes are all taught in person. This particular year, I traveled a lot to teach. I taught in India and Canada and back east in Minnesota and Montana. And so I really traveled quite a bit. My travel schedule for this year is complete. So all my classes now are here in Portland, Oregon. And I teach everything from the beginning classes of Reiki 1 and 2 into the advanced classes of Reiki Master and Karuna Reiki Master. The lineage that I'm working with is Holy Fire 3 Reiki.
Well, I find just listening to your voice, it's calming.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure that for everybody that studies with you and gets a healing from you, they just automatically feel more relaxed because there's definitely, I find, a soothing energy that comes from you, even just listening to your voice. It's very soothing. So, all right, everybody, you know how to find Colleen. I'm going to post the links to our show together on my social media at Ask Julie Ryan, and you can find it there. And Colleen, thanks so much for taking the time to
Thank you.
just be with us for a few minutes this week, so I can let everybody know about the amazing work you're doing.
Thank you, Julie.
You bet. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
In the meantime, we have a boatload of callers on hold, so let's go ahead and go to the phones and get to them. Our first caller is Louise. Hi, Louise.
Hi, Julie.
How are ya?
Well, I've been having a tough day.
I'm sorry. Please tell everybody where you're calling from before you tell us about your tough day.
I'm calling from the Jersey Shore, and I just want to first start by thank you for the blessing of you and your work.
Oh, you sweet thing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So my son, 15-year-old son, Nick, has been having eye challenges for the past 4 years. And 2 days ago, he saw white lights, and we went right into the retinal specialist. And he's had a total retinal detachment.
Mm-hmm.
He has no vision in his right eye. And we just took him to a world-famous eye center today. And they said that he's likely to never regain vision. He may lose the eye. And if we don't treat, he's going to sustain huge amounts of pain. He has no pain right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, Julie, I know that there's, it pierces the mother's heart, right? Like, I just don't want my child to suffer. I do understand that there's the highest and best in this. And I'm just wanting to understand why and how to support him and, the bigger picture, right? Because, and I'm second guessing myself, all the way to the edge of the plank here.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's tied to who he is and his destiny, but he's only 15, it's, so I'm looking for perspective and understanding, and I want to be able to show up for him in the ways that I can, because I don't want to make it about me.
Right. Well, God bless you and God bless Nick on this. I will get him on my radar. I know you and I have a dear friend in common, and I had emailed you late last night before I was up, you guys. I think I was up before the Roosters and all of them, because God love Tim, my husband. We left for the airport at 3:30 this morning, Birmingham time. So, because I had to get on the plane at 5. So this morning. So I know I was emailing you late last night. I took a quick peek at Nick before, and I said, call into my show and we could spend more time talking about it.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
I'm going to get them on my radar. First of all, for you, though, Louise, the thing I want you to stay focused on is everything unfolds perfectly. And we can't see how it's going to benefit him and benefit you and benefit the rest of your family with him going through this. You just don't know because our human minds don't have the capacity to envision all of the potential outcomes. There's too many variables. There are too many variables involved. So having said all of that, I believe that he will recover from this, and I believe he will live a completely normal life. And just because the doctors are saying that he's going to be blind in that eye, that's their opinion based on their experience. Doesn't mean it's, set in stone. Everything and anything can happen. I see miraculous things happen all the time. There's a baby that I work with in Manhattan who was born with only a third of her brain, and the doctors expected her to live only a month. And I've watched her brain granulate in. They said she'd be blind. In her right eye, she's starting to get vision. She's 5 months old now. She's about a month behind developmentally. And she has the doctors baffled. So
wow.
Hold on to that. Anything is possible. And if you stay focused on this is all unfolding perfectly in how Nick's spirit wants to experience this lifetime. And I know that sounds really Pollyanna-ish at a time like this, where it's just so heartbreaking to have this kind of a diagnosis. But the bottom line is, if you stay focused on this is benefiting him, I don't know how, I just trust it is. And you'll watch it unfold. And in 10 years, maybe we'll chat again and you'll say, oh my gosh, here's how it's benefited him. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he's going to invent something that's going to help other people. Maybe he's going to baffle the doctors with his recovery. Who knows where it's going to go?
It's true. I mean, honestly, this is the only way I can be comforted, is to realize that I don't have
faith.
I just have to try.
Right. The other thing, Louise, is when we're thinking about future events, especially something like this that's so scary, we're making it up in our heads anyways, right? So make up good stuff. Make up good stuff. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to put you in that high vibration level. And there's no need to be on the hamster wheel of what ifs and all the doom and gloom. You're making it up. You don't know, right?
It's true. It's true.
It's true. So when you do that, here's the disruptor. Here's what I always do. When I feel badly about something, I feel mad or sad or angry or whatever, the first thing I've trained my mind to do is to say, okay, Ryan, is this going to kill you in the next 2 minutes? And then I laugh. Even with Nick. Nick has to have this surgery. Is that going to kill you in the next 2 minutes, Louise, if he has surgery?
No.
Probably not, right?
No.
So what that does is it disrupts that train of thought. You can switch it. You're making it up anyway. Switch it to something that's positive. It works great. It works great. Because unless you're standing in the middle of the road and that Mack truck's going to come run you over, you're not going to die in the next 2 minutes unless you get out of the road, kind of a thing. And usually it'll make you laugh. And then you can take it from there. So we can do that. All right. So I looked at him real briefly last night. I think it was around midnight my time or something. And then what I saw his retina get reattached, and I saw that his peripheral vision was good, but it was the center vision. And then I watched that granulate back in over time. I don't know, and I'll know more once he has the surgery and can work on him, up until then. But I don't believe he's going to be blind in that eye necessarily. I think, and I don't know anything about this surgery, but I'm just telling you, anything can happen. So just keep us posted and just remember you're making it up anyways. This is his path. All you can do is support him in his path. Does that help?
Julie, thank you so much. Yes,
you are so welcome. Okay, well, keep us posted on what happens.
I will. Thank you.
You bet. Take care. Bye, Louise.
You too.
Okay, let's see who's next. I believe it's Kathy. Hi, Kath.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to call in to tell you, I'm going to cry a little bit when I say this. I just want to tell you thank you so much because my dad just passed this month, and it was bittersweet, of course, for Mom and my sister and I especially, but it was a beautiful service. There were a lot of people there, which we didn't expect to be there. My ex-husband went with me. It was lovely being with him and enjoying his company again, and the whole family was happy to see him. He was a pallbearer. And it was the last week at hospice was so hard. So hard.
I bet.
But my mom and my sister and I kind of kept vigil for a couple days, and then we went home, and that next morning she went, and he was still waiting for her. She crawled into bed with him, told him it was okay to go, and he went peacefully.
Yeah, wonderful.
So I just want to thank you for all the support you've been over the last 3 years since we've been gradually going through this.
Yeah, it's taken him a long time to let go, hasn't it?
It has, and I think that's because he and my mom have always been so head over heels in love since they met when they were teenagers.
Right. Wow.
So anyway, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for calling in, and everybody.
Sure.
Kathy lives in Dayton, so she's one of our regulars, and every time you call in, your dad was in phase 11 of the 12 phases of transition for, Kathy, for 2 years, I think, wasn't he?
Yes. It's been maybe a little over 2 years, I think I've counted.
Yeah, goodness. Wow. Oh, good. All right. Well, you remember grief is like waves in the ocean. You know, the way it's calm, the waves come crashing in with a lot of force. The grief really hurts. But just remember, it's going to recede like a wave of the ocean. So when you're in the middle of that grief, just keep picturing the waves of the ocean. They come in, they crash, they hurt like crazy, but you know they're going to recede. And then eventually you're going to get low tide, and you're going to get out from underneath it. But just let them come crashing in. Just remember they're going to recede, and that'll help you ride the waves of grief.
Thank you so much, Joey.
You are so welcome. Sending big hugs.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. All righty. Let's see who's next. I believe it's Robert. Hi, Robert.
Hi. How are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Are you enjoying California? You haven't been there that long. But
I got in late morning, so yeah, I'll be here till Sunday. So absolutely, I lived here for a long time, so it's wonderful to be in a town where I know where I'm going. And Jonathan and I went to lunch in Malibu at one of my favorite places with lots of memories right on the beach. So that was fun. We just got back from there. Yeah, it was great. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Calling from Tucson. And I'm calling back because I had such great results from the last week's call. I'm not capable of doing our hour deal with you yet, but I'm going to. It's on my schedule. And but I have pains in my shoulders. You pointed out that I had a second shoulder problem, and I have the knee problems and back problem. So the back is from my multiple myeloma, and the knees and shoulders are from previous sports injuries.
Mm-hmm. And you're feeling better this week?
It worked. I was impressed with how much better I felt the next day after I talked to you.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, that's terrific. Well, thanks for calling in and letting us know. I appreciate that. Okay. Did you have a quick question for us, or?
I just wondered if there's any, if I can get more treatments, or whether we got to wait for my hour session.
I can look at you real fast and let me see what's going on.
Or you can look at me slow. It's okay.
Yeah, but I got a bunch of other callers I want to try and get on. So I got you on my radar. I'm watching my laser beam. I've raised my vibrational level to the level of spirit. Watching my laser beam come from Sweet Home, LA, instead of Sweet Home, Alabama, is what I usually say. I'm heading out to you in Tucson. Doesn't have to go as far because you're a lot closer to me here than you were when I'm in Birmingham. Okay, got you shooting in. Okay, so your left hip is inflamed tonight, Robert. I'm going to put anti-inflammatory energy on that. I'm shooting some stem cell energy in there to add some extra padding. Have you ever do you go to a chiropractor? Did we talk about that?
I don't.
Okay, you find one. Your pelvis is twisted, so your left hip is in front of your right hip, and they can fix you in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
So find a chiropractor that you like, and go get an adjustment.
Okay.
And it'll relieve a lot of pain. In the meantime, I put anti-inflammatory energy on there, so hopefully it'll calm it down.
Good. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Thanks for calling. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
All right, let's see who else we have. I believe our next caller is Debbie. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
Good. Thank you for taking my call. You did a wonderful healing on my husband about 1.5 years ago, and I'm calling about my daughter this evening. Our whole family lives in Utah, St. George, Utah.
Yeah, sure.
Our one daughter is in Tennessee, Nashville, right now with her fiance. She was on bipolar medication when she went out there, and she went off of all of her medication due to her encouragement from her fiance. She's had a full psychotic break, was taken by police to the hospital there in the town that they live in, and was in a private facility just long enough for them to put her on lithium. And she has no insurance, was let out, immediately refused to take the lithium, and is just on the brink of having another full psychotic break. And we're, as a family, very concerned about her and don't know how to help her. She is now turned again away from all of us. She has a full personality change, very angry. He, the fiance, is ready to walk away from her because she's another person now. This is about 6 months that it's been building to this. Is there anything that you can do for her remotely? Her name is Haley. Or is there anything that I can do for her remotely?
Yeah, I've got her on my radar, Debbie. I connected to you while you were talking and then connected to her even before you told me her name. And so, yeah, she's in a really dark place. So, obviously, you know that. What can Debbie and the family do short of going to get her? That's come in 3 times for you guys to get on a plane and go to Nashville and just go get her and help her that way, because that's the only thing that I'm getting right now is to do that. She needs to be hospitalized, I believe. You're going to need to get her hospitalized somehow. But if there's any way you guys can go intervene in person, I think that would be the best thing.
Okay.
If you can do that.
So he did get, while she was in the hospital, the medical power of attorney. So, and he would, of course, be very willing to have us bring her back here, I think. If she's not wanting to, how can we make that happen?
I think you're going to have to get some professional advice on that as far as intervention with somebody who is an expert in that. That's out of my wheelhouse. So all I'm getting is for you to physically go get her is what I'm getting. So I think if you call a mental health hotline in Utah, perhaps in Tennessee, explain what's going on. Certainly there are county and state agencies that can help you. And I think you're going to need some professional help on this.
Okay.
Thank
you, Julie.
You bet. Good luck. Let us know what happens.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All righty. Let's see. I think we have Amy next. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm down in San Diego, but I've been up to Malibu.
Yeah.
That's a fun place. If you could just take a bungee cord and jump up to Malibu and avoid the traffic, it's an awesome place.
Right. Well, they don't live in Malibu. They live in the city, but they are close by. So.
Yeah. How fun.
Got a question for me?
Well, yeah, how do I ask one question when I have 10 questions?
You call back in 10 shows in a row.
No, I need to make an appointment with you, the reality. But anyhow, in the midst of everything going on, what is a reality for me to create income flow, doing what I love doing? And I don't know why I can't figure this out. You would think it would be so simple. And I have done energy work, like in massage, for 24 years, which I never felt was my calling.
Mm-hmm.
I love the physics, and I love food. And I've taken a lot of food work, education, and I healed myself of a major eating disorder. I survived. That should be enough to tell me I should do something with it to help others.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I'm at a brick wall with me. I am at a brick wall.
Well, go back to what I was telling Louise, our first caller, Amy, and that is you just take one step at a time, because our human brains don't have the capacity to envision all the potential outcomes because there are too many variables that come into play that there's no way we can know about. And so we go into brain freeze and then we don't do anything. So if you can take one step at a time. Try one thing. Maybe look something up. It may lead you to something else. And just be gentle with yourself and just trust that when you get an idea that's interesting, follow through on it and see what happens. And you'll be led because it all unfolds perfectly.
I know. It's just frustrating. What I love doing, my wrists are blown out and my knees are blown out. So I love food service, and even trying to do waitress work again, I would love it. But, I just don't have that body functioning properly. And it's just how it is.
So there are lots of nuances of the food business. I mean, gosh, there are about a bazillion. So you'll find something that makes sense. Just take a step. Try it. Take another step. Try that. It'll lead you to something else. You'll be surprised, and before you know it, you're going to be further down the road than you think. So I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you so much. I love
you. You are welcome.
Thank you all for participating.
No, thanks for calling. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's see who we have next. I believe it's Erica. Hi, Erica.
Oh, my gosh. Hi. I actually was calling to listen to my mom ask about my sister Haley.
Oh, okay. Okay, terrific.
So, yeah, that was my question, but I still have another question, Julie. A little bit more about her. I'm just wondering if you have more information about what's going on with her mentally is like a spiritual or something physical, like why this happened, or what would be the best healing to ask for. What's causing it? It's been frustrating going to doctors. I'm wondering if you can get any information on what to ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. Erica, what I'm getting is it's physiological. It's physiological. It's a brain thing going on, physiological. Okay? And that
an imbalance.
Well, not even an imbalance. I think it's parts of her brain that just aren't working. So I think it's a physiological thing. It would be like having a broken bone. There are parts of her brain that are just not working properly. And there are two, I'm really glad actually that you stayed on and that I called on you, because there are two names that come to mind. One is a psychiatrist named Kelly Brogan, Brogan, B as in boy, R-O, G as in green, A-N, Kelly Brogan. Look up her, just Google Kelly Brogan, MD, and you'll find her website. And I think you may learn some things from her website. You may even be able to get a consult with her for advice. The other company that I would call is Amen Clinics, A-M-E-N, like amen, hallelujah, at the end of a prayer.
Okay.
AmenClinics.com. They do this test called a SPECT scan, S-P-E-C-T, and it shows the parts of the brain that are not functioning correctly. When you go to most doctors, they're going to give you medication, but they're giving you medication based on symptoms, not necessarily on a scan to see exactly what's going on. And Amen Clinics they do these brain scans that show what parts of the brain are lit up and what parts aren't. And it's hugely beneficial. So I would get in touch with them as well. AmenClinics.com and KellyBrogan.com, I believe, is what her website is too. So I would check out both of those and see if you can find some help or see what kind of resources they can point you to in Nashville to help.
Okay, and those are in Nashville. Okay,
no, they're not. No, but they may. No, but they may be able to steer you to somewhere in Nashville that can help.
Okay, so is that something that? So are you not able to do like remote healing on like the brain, that kind of thing?
I am. Yes, I am. But she right now is not accepting anything. Her energy field just looks black to me. It's like she's not plugged in. She's alive, but she's just not plugged into the power source. So that's why I said to your mom, I think you guys need to go get her, because I think she looks critical. She looks critical to me.
Okay. Thank you for saying that. Yes, she's not accepting anything. You're right.
Right. Yeah. Right. So I hope that helps.
I'm glad I stayed on the line as well.
Me too. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All righty. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 712-770-4160, and the access code is 533-677#. You can find this information a whole bunch of different places. Anywhere you download podcasts. I think we're on 70 networks. It's in the show notes. It's also on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, down at the bottom of the home page. If you scroll down to the home page, you'll see it. I also post it on show days on Instagram at Ask Julie Ryan and on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. We're on YouTube in the show notes. We're on Alexa. You can say, Alexa, please play Ask Julie Ryan podcast, and Alexa will play that. So all those places. And then also I send out a blog each Wednesday, and it has a reminder with this call-in information. So lots of places for you to get this information. When you're on my website, sign up for the blog. It's a question somebody has submitted, and then I answer it each week, a different question each week, and schedule a private appointment. And then we'll have a whole hour to discuss whatever you want to talk about. Miss Amy, you said you had 10 questions, so schedule an appointment, and we'll have an hour to solve all your 10 questions, answer all your 10 questions. Okay, this week we had a question from Teresa, and Teresa, interestingly enough, Erica, lives in Nashville, Tennessee. And she said, "Hi, Julie. I just listened to your Positive Head podcast interview with Brandon Beecham and have to say it blew my mind." That's the guy whose TV show pilot we're filming this weekend here in L.A. She went on to say, "You do some truly fascinating work. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I think one day I'd love to get one of those, quote, spiritual tune-ups. I'd love to give you one someday, Teresa." She said, "I stopped by your website to check out the 12 phases of transition graphics you mentioned. Such interesting visuals. I sensed some of that going on when I was present for the passing of a loved one." What she's talking about is the 12 phases that we all go through as we're dying and how we're surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones. And those graphics you can see on my website at AskJulieRyan.com. She went on to say, a burning question I had about the 12 phases you laid out is, how does this play out for sudden and unexpected deaths like accidents, bombings, and even suicides? Looking forward to hearing from you with love and eternal light, Teresa. And here's my response. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for listening to my interview with Brandon and for your kind comments. What a great question you posed. Here's the answer. Everyone goes through the 12 phases of transition regardless of how they die. In a case of sudden death like a homicide, suicide, accident, etc., the progression through all 12 phases can happen in an instant. In other situations, the 12 phases can take days, weeks, months, even years. It's all determined by the person's spirit and what it wants to experience in this lifetime. That's what I was talking about with Louise, with her son, who's going through eye challenges, and Erica, for you and your mom. Debbie, same thing with your sister. You got to remember, at the end of the day, it's your sister's spirit's experience. It's Nick, the 15-year-old's experience with the eyes, and we look at it and we want to fix it and we want to help them, and we do all we can, and at the end of the day, it's what their spirit wants to experience, which is hard for our human brains to wrap around, but that's the truth. All right, keep in mind, our concept of time, what's known as linear time, is man-made. It doesn't exist in the non-physical spirit world. It's certainly feasible that 100 years in our time is a nanosecond in non-physical, or whatever else calculation you want to do, whatever other calculation you want to do. Who knows? We'll know when we're back in non-physical, but in human form, we don't know. For more information, please read or listen to my book, Angelic Attendants, What Really Happens as We Transition from This World into the Next. And again, that talks about what's happening as we're dying. There are lots of books out there on near-death experiences, on what happens on the other side after we've transitioned, all of that. But I find that it's pretty slim pickings on what happens as we're dying. That's what we're all afraid of. And it's really glorious what I see. We're surrounded by angels, deceased loved ones. We have a Welcome to Heaven committee. I mean, it's glorious. So, Teresa, thanks for your question. Please check that out in my book, and then there'll be more information in there that I think will be enlightening, informative, and also comforting and heartwarming as well. And for all of you who've read my book or listened to my book, Angelic Attendants, please leave a review on Amazon for me, because it helps other people find this information. I would really appreciate that if you would help me out on that. Okay, let's go back to the phones. I believe our next caller is Ronique. Hi, Ronique.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm good. It's actually Ronit with a T.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my name is weird.
That's all right.
I heard you on Brandon Beecham's podcast. He's a good friend of mine, and
oh, great.
I'm so happy to hear that you're going to be seeing him. And I'm calling from Bali. I'm here traveling, and I, similarly to Brandon, have suffered from frequent urination and bladder pain that no doctor can really give me a straight answer on. I've also suffered from candida, which is like reoccurring yeast infections, and been on all kinds of diets and supplements and Chinese doctors, and I'm trying to figure out in Bali if I can get to the bottom of it. There are a lot of healers here, but I'm not really sure what direction to go in now. Currently on antibiotics for a bladder infection. And it just seems to be like something, even when I don't have a bladder infection, I have to pee all the time, and I just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, okay, let me get you on my radar, and then we'll see what's going on. So here comes my laser beam from Southern California, and it's heading to you in Bali, and got you shooting energy from your feet up to the top of your head. I have a hologram of you in my mind's eye, and you're full of yeast, child. You are full of yeast, full of yeast. So you want to get nystatin, Nystatin. It's an antifungal. It's grown in the ground. It's a prescription.
Taken it before.
Yeah, you just need to take it again and stay on it. Every time you take the antibiotics, it just whacks your gut biome and allows the yeasties to just take over. And that bladder pain and that frequent urination, it feels like you have a UTI, and you don't. It shows up clear, and it's from the yeast. I've been there. I promise you. It's the yeast. So email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I'll send you a link for the gut biome test. Get that done. That will tell you, you don't need a prescription for it. That will tell you what your superfoods are. It will tell you what kind of foods to stay away from. That'll be the first step after you get on the nystatin. But listen, I've taken nystatin for 20 years. I take it every morning because I had systemic yeast for the first 40 years of my life. And I am so on the edge that I take a tablet every morning, and it keeps me on the straight and narrow. But you will get to a place where you will be grateful for those symptoms, because it will tell you when the yeasties are on the, having a party in your gut, among other things, in the future once you get them cleared up, and you'll fix it. I'm telling you, nystatin is nectar of the gods.
Where does you get nystatin? Because I was getting it from a doctor who then retired, and hardly anyone prescribes it.
Yeah, it's a if you email me, I'll send you a copy. I'll send you a picture of my bottle, and it's got the pharmaceutical number, the national drug number on it. You get it at Walgreens, you can get it at CVS, you can get it in any pharmacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you think there's anything else that I'm doing on an emotional level that could be causing the yeast? Because I wonder sometimes if it's stress or, I don't know, anything else I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I think stress is always a component, and schedule an hour session, and then we'll have a whole hour to do a deep dive, and we can explore all of that. But in the short run, this is physiological. It's yeast. The more antibiotics you're on, you're going to stay on the hamster wheel. You got to get on the nystatin and tweak your diet some. And that's why I want you to do the gut biome test. Let's figure out exactly what your body needs in order to come up with a robust immune system.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you so much.
Okay. You bet. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
I will. Have fun down there.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You bet.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let's see who we have next. I believe it's Jim. Hi, Jim.
Hiya. How you been?
How are you? Good. How are you?
Still breathing.
Good. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
This is Jim. I'm in Ivins, Utah, on the southwest corner.
Well, terrific. You got a quick question for me?
I do. I wonder if you could put your Doolittle hat on and give me a CAT scan of Sparta, my cat. She's been doing some strange things lately.
Yeah.
Just the last few days, I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't think there's anything wrong with her, but something seems to be messing with her. And,
what's she doing?
When you remember my old ex-business partner situation?
Uh-huh.
When we lived in the same house, there would be entities that would chase the cat around and cause problems, and I haven't seen activity like that in a long time.
It's so funny you're telling me this, Jim, because that's the first thing that came in my mind, is she's seeing spirits. She's seeing spirits.
Okay. Are they...
Yeah.
Are they... I mean, I saw her get actually pushed right off the table.
Yeah.
So,
well, all spirits are pure love and light. So if somebody pushed her off the table, she was playing with her. That spirit was playing with her, because there aren't malicious spirits. Those are concoctions of, religions and civilizations and the entertainment industry, quite frankly, to sell books and movies and stuff. So she's seeing spirits. That's what's going on. She's fine physically. She's just seeing spirits.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I hope that helps.
Yeah. No, just, it's so odd when you're seeing it.
I bet. All right, Tim. Thanks for calling. Great to hear your voice.
Yeah, same here. I missed you.
All righty. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's see if we can get a couple more callers on here real fast. I believe Sally is our next person. Hi, Sally.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. Where are you calling us from?
Washington.
Okay, great. You got a quick question for us?
Yes, I have a paragamma on my neck, and I'm starting to get some rash on my face and the neck, and I'm just wondering if that is breaking loose and getting healed, or whether I'm having any problems with that.
Wait, what did you say you have on your neck? What was the first thing you said?
It's called a paragamma. It's just like a cyst, and they had said that they could do surgery a number of years ago, but I said no, because it was right in the hairs of the carotid artery.
Oh, yeah, tricky.
And the test showed that it was non-malignant. It was just benign. And I've had a football-sized tumor taken out of my abdomen some years before, in the 90s, and it was the same thing. It's almost like my body collects the mucus, and it kind of corrals it, so I'm not sure if that's what's going on with my neck, because neither one of the things have been malignant or anything.
What came in when you first were telling me about the rash was that it's some kind of a fungal thing, like what I was just talking with our caller from Bali about, that it's a fungal thing going on. And does it itch, or does it just seem to be topical, or what, Sally?
It's topical, but it'll also itch at times. Is the fungus same as the bacteria, or do they?
No, fungal infections are more like yeast and like athlete's foot and vaginal yeast infections and stuff like that. Those are fungal infections. So I get that it's a fungal infection that you've got.
I'm wondering if like some colloidal silver would be enough to work with.
Well, that would be interesting. I would say more like some kind of antifungal. I would talk to the pharmacist even about over-the-counter antifungal creams that you might be able to utilize, and see about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe that it's connected with your I'm going to let you pronounce it. Your
paraganglionoma.
Paraganglionoma.
It's a ganglion within the ganglion cyst areas.
Yeah, I've seen them on hands. Yeah, I've seen them on hands, like on wrists and stuff.
Yeah,
on people.
It's on my neck, but it's right between in the carotid hairs.
Yeah.
And I, having the carotid cut in surgery is not one of my main goals.
No, I agree.
But I feel the body can heal with that, but it's what and where, or what am I thinking or not doing?
Right. I talk to the pharmacist about over-the-counter fungal cream. Try that.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting. Okay. Thanks for calling. Good luck,
Julie.
Hope it helps. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Therese, you are up, girl. Therese, we've just got a couple minutes left.
Okay,
so,
I'll try to be quick.
Hi, where are you calling from?
Viroqua, Wisconsin. It's southwest. So I have a son that's 14 and a half years old, and he's had issues most of his life, started with a speech impediment and stuff, and then he started getting several tics, and he's been diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome, and he also has OCD tendencies and some anxiety and maybe depression. Is very sensitive, very smart, and very quick to anger. I'm just wondering if there's anything we can do to help or heal him.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Again, what I was talking about with the Amen Clinics, AMEN, like at the end of a prayer, amenclinics.com. They work with people that have those symptoms all the time. I can do a healing on him as well. Schedule a private session and let's spend a whole hour working on all his challenges that he has. But I would look up Amen Clinics and see how they can help you. because they're going to be able to tell what part of his brain is working, that's turned on, that's operating, and what part is not. And then they have a whole protocol that they go through. Dr. Daniel Amen is a double board certified psychiatrist who's an expert on brains. And he not only works with children like your son, but also, Therese, with, brain-injured pro athletes and college athletes and addicts and people with depression issues and on and on and on. So I would look that up, amenclinics.com, and see what they can do to steer you, and then I'll be delighted to work with you as well. So we'll double team him. How about that?
Okay. Ruth, real quick, I was going to ask if you thought there was any validity to the guy who calls himself the medical medium. I think it's Anthony Williams. He says that things like that are that there's heavy metals that are caught between the two hemispheres of the brain, and that you need to detox those out.
Yes, I think there's absolutely merit to that. I think that we'll be able to tell that when I do a scan on him, and also they will be able to tell that and give you a protocol, at least with Amen, or they can steer you to perhaps a colleague in your area that can help. So yeah, I do believe that.
Okay.
But I think there's more to the equation than just that.
Okay.
Going on.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
You bet. You bet. Thanks for calling. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That went fast. To those people that I didn't get on, please call in next week and let me know that you didn't get on, and I'll do my best to take you first. To everybody else, please call in and join us next week. I'll have lots to report to you after this fun weekend here in LA. And in the meantime, I hope your weekend is terrific. Until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter at AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook at AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.